Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is my prayer and hope that this video is going to find you when you're doing fine and in good health. I'm also doing fine at this very far end. So let me know where you're watching this video from, which country and which continent. Guys, I want to speak to particular kind of issues here. Two of them. One, the biggest lie exposed. Number two, IAM-MARWA versus GITIRIBA. That's two keywords forms my deliberation today, hence my title. And it's a title that it brings a particular kind of jitters along this YouTube street, but I just had to use it so that I drive certain points home. The point is, or to look at the title is saying unbelievable revelations. IAM-MARWA versus GITIRIBA, the JT podcast biggest lies exposed. Where is the title itself? We also receive IAM-MARWA giving back to the community. Yet also they are also living in that community itself. Anything that they will do for community does not mean they must exclude themselves. They're also a member of a community. They're also a member of community, which means they're doing that one for the greater good of the community, because there are a lot of things that they've tried doing, but the community itself has been the stumbling block. Now, the presence of IAM-MARWA was so important when this road was being made, but it brought little kind of chaos, because not even chaos, it brought a little kind of jitteries, not by the neighbors, but by the lazy gang who think their words are final, whatever they say is the true picture, the true depiction in the village, yet it is not. And that's why I want to expose the biggest lie. And this is why now I want also to focus on IAM-MARWA and GITIRIBA. What role did GITIRIBA play? And why is the lazy gang talking between the issue of IAM-MARWA and GITIRIBA? Why the lazy gang are pitting IAM-MARWA against GITIRIBA, or pitting GITIRIBA against IAM-MARWA? Was there any kind of a fight or of a conflict? We are going to find out. So guys, if you're coming across this video for the very first time, kindly click at the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, YouTube shall notify you instantly. To my loyal subscriber, may God bless you abundantly. So let's dive in after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube chit chat. My name is Inazak and this is my YouTube channel. So let's dive in lest we forget. So guys, I've told you there's myriads of lies, a narrative that has once again been concocted by the lazy gang. Nowadays the roles have changed. Nowadays it's JT who is the forefront of setting a narrative. This is not narrative that JT sets for his son, but there is somebody behind JT's narrative. That somebody is Mr. Fruit Money. He set all the narratives that sometimes are archaic, sometimes are not true, just to depict a scenario. And this is where JT gets his reasoning, JT gets his thought. So the chain of thoughts process of JT is dependent or is premised on all the stale elucidation from Mr. Fruit. If you go to Mr. Fruit's page today and you get to know all other kind of filthy write-ups, archaic, I could say so, that has lack any kind of a merit, their main aim is to entangle people. So it tells you that JT know who Mr. Fruit is. It tells you it is a narrative that somebody is at the back end generating lies to paint other people in the social media things they are not. There's a lot of things, and that's where JT draws most of his content from that page. But these are the narratives which forms the biggest lie. And the biggest lies is now JT will be on the lead, start being used as a conduit to pass this tail information by Mr. Fruit. He talks all this kind of verbiage, a gibberish. In this YouTube street, people consume them. Others will believe them. Those who don't believe them, like yours truly, I will come and declassify such kind of information, and the reason as to why I'm calling them still. And that alone comes to lie number one. Perhaps let's watch the first lie, then I will come and declassify it, and I give you the true version. All of it is based on comparative analysis to perforate the lies that somehow JT considers them to be perfect facts, yet they are not. Declassify them into their own taxonomic unit, which is so gibberish and stale, and give you the fact, and also tells you the double speak. It is a grotesk lie.
Actually constructed this road some days back, but Rocio says the way that Grandpa constructed this thing wasn't in a good way, and Rocio now decided to pour more money than Grandpa, maybe to be more than that person, that donor, to build a good road, because it's nonsensical to do something that cannot serve people for long. Maybe I'm thinking maybe Rocio will tarmac the road or something. So what did Grandpa do? Grandpa, you did trash. All your legacy is being washed by Argentinian baby mama. So the villagers are not going to remember you for nothing, my guy. The villager will not going to remember you for nothing, because Rocio decided to wash your legacy and say whatever you did there.
Do this, and we don't care about what's going to happen with the water when it rains. Maybe we're just doing this just to waste time. We shouldn't. This time we should do it properly, because this is the second time doing this. The grader. I was using grinder.
This is the second time we're doing this, and there's no way that we can be doing this over and over, because you don't care where the water will be passing, or maybe you do some shoddy work for the sake of it.
It's the grader that we passed here, that is passing by here. This is the second time we are doing this, so I hope it's the second and the last, and then we can enjoy something that lasts. I don't know if forever, but for a long, long time. But for that, it needs to be very well done.
Yeah. Hey, Grandpa. There is this other place here. I like the video. Someone asking me where I come from. Is there even a point? Where I come from? Yo, why do you need my address, my location? Why? Why is someone asking me if I'm a Kenyan or something? I don't know.
So this has been done already months ago by Trench Town Boy.
No, he's not Trench Town Boy anymore, Rocio. He's Trench Town Grandpa, okay? He's not a boy anymore, he's a grandpa. So yeah, that has been done before by Grandpa.
I hope you've listened to that video.
He spent a lot of money. He didn't spend
and keenly,
he didn't do it to the standard.
If you've been following all the IAM-MARWA's vlog, and Rocio, and Trench Town Grandpa by then, Trench Town Boy by then, and currently Trench Town Grandpa, then you can declassify JT's fake narrative concocted that has got baseless meaning. Let's start first thing first. Trench Town was not doing this road, was not mending that road for anything else. It was specifically giving back to the people through IAM-MARWA. It was not looking for any attention. It was not looking for any kind of remembrance. That is a preserve of how lazy gang thinks that if you do something for you to be remembered. No. The most philanthropists like giving back to the society without any other kind of question. They do it, they forget. And that is Trenchtown boy then, and currently Trenchtown grandpa. You never want to take any kind of a credit. So the baseless argument that is being fronted by Gaiety is a notion that cannot see the light. It's just because they always like thinking negative and paint people. And they want to appear as negative and toxic enough because that is what sells their stream. That is what they monetize. Rage and information that are so toxic, are so negative, then they think that they're so special in this YouTube street. They are not. Declassification number one. Number two, there is no place Rocio has said that the road was done shoddy. The road was just done fine. But what they did, they maintained the size of road because they never encroached to anybody's land. Because there were an attempt to talk to the neighbors. Most of them disagreed. And that's why you are seeing, Rocio is telling you, this is the second time they are doing this road, but they want to do it properly. Basing that, they want to talk to the community before to secede land so that they can have trenches alongside, double trenches alongside. This is the thing that was never done before because they tried doing it, but they never, the community by then was so toxic. They never allowed it. And again, Rocio is saying they're doing it. I think this will be the last one because the first one was done, negativity was along, and nobody was home to maintain the road. So the road itself lacked maintenance. Otherwise, the road still would have been in the better state as it was mended by Trenchtown grandpa. So doing it again, that Rocio is saying now, this is the second and the last one, which means they've already made plans that they want to plant trees alongside. Planting trees alongside will maintain the soil and prevent the soil erosions. Planting tree outside will therefore means the road will be maintained. Didn't you hear IAM-MARWA saying that they want to corrugate that kind of road? Which means plans are underway for that road not to be tarmacked, but to be cemented so that it becomes so compact. What Rocio means or meant by properly is like the chunk of lands and the community seceded land so that the road could be constructed. Majority of the community were talked to so that they were all engaged in this project and there's a sense of ownership and a belonging. So the notion that you want to pit Rocio against Trenchtown grandpa, it's the biggest lie and a narrative that you lazy gang you want to go away with. This one I have to put it right down here and I have to tell you point blank that this is the biggest lie. Stop your fifth lie. And lies you always exude. How do you always sleep? How do you always use that money that you're getting from all this kind of filthy reaction? And you know, you're even playing Rocio's clip that you're saying Rocio was saying that Trenchtown grandpa never did it so well. Where? I've just played the video that you played concerning Rocio. There is nowhere Rocio said that. I've been listening. I wanted to listen where Rocio really categorically said that Trenchtown boy then never did it properly, never did it well. That Trenchtown grandpa used little money and they used a lot of money. There's nowhere that was mentioned. There's no evidence into that. Simply means you must stop this BS. You know, sometimes DT, sometimes, you know, let me tell you, this is the truth that I just want to tell you. If you look of all other negative reactors and you sit them down or you just check their channels, then you listen to what they say. GT Podcast is one guy who will try to bend low. He will overdo it, and he does it for the audience, thinking that anytime he gets accolades from audience, that is being in heaven. That one doesn't make you a better version of a human being. Sometimes you get controlled by your own thought and by your own conviction. Overdoing it, brother, this time it will land you somewhere so bad. This one, I just need to tell you. So guys, it never stopped from there. JT decided to evoke line number 2. The line number 2, JT is saying that Rocio is talking so arrogantly, and that Rocio was telling the neighbor that the neighbors have no plan for the future by the time they were building. And he's saying that Rocio was now revealing the conflict that was in between IAM-MARWA and GITIRIBA, that there was fight. There wasn't fight at all, because he's referring to a point when Rocio was saying that he thought GITIRIBA had agreed, because this is the thing, because the lazy gang ran to that to suggest that there is disagreement. And let me tell you what happened. IAM-MARWA was working, informing people of what is going to happen. Rocio also came the other side where the grader was. That's why he couldn't pass the other side and reach IAM-MARWA. While IAM-MARWA, we have David Jr., we have Congressman walking to the neighbors and talking to them. The other neighbors agreed, others never agreed. So the neighbors were being talked to. So on reaching GITIRIBA side, Rocio thought that GITIRIBA was already informed before. But as at that time, GITIRIBA was not around. GITIRIBA wasn't formed. That's why you see the engineer also thought that the fence also should go down. As at that time, GITIRIBA was not around. As for that time, they couldn't do it, and the engineer was told by IAM-MARWA, stop, we've not talked to the owner of the home, let GITIRIBA be in present when this thing is done, so that it doesn't bother it doesn't bother something that you're doing out of impunity. And that's why in IAM-MARWA's video you saw GITIRIBA was there and agreed, and it was even pulling down the gate so that the grader could pass. So that is the knowledge that these people, JT waited until he just watches Rocio's video alone, because it was very quick to be the first one to reveal that kind of information. He reacted on Rocio. Little did he know there was a continuation of that vlog on IAM-MARWA's YouTube channel. That's why sometimes you need to wait. You watch Rocio, watch IAM-MARWA, then you come in and give opinion or facts that all people can see. But this kind of thing that this is saying, that IAM-MARWA decided to build road, breaking other people's senses, and they were never informed, it is a lie. Perhaps let's watch this video below.
Now you see the destruction. So the whole fence is down and everything. GITIRIBA has to accept that bitter truth, because being a loyal guy. Anyway, GITIRIBA is one of them. I can't really say that maybe he didn't know. Maybe he was told, but he kind of hesitated, or maybe they did this just to send a message to other villagers. She does not mean funny as it's laughing matter, JT. Funny as interesting. Oh, okay. So it's very interesting that we are doing this. I get it. I get it. Anyway, there's this point that Rocio said here. I found to be so much arrogant, very much arrogant. But let's say, so basically, when you see that, maybe you may say that is you may think that was maybe a script, because maybe Mr. GITIRIBA knew that the road would be constructed, so he deliberately decided to leave his fence there for the grader to come and destroy it. so that villagers can see that if your property get destroyed, it's for the good of the village. So you have to chill, you know. But I think other villagers were not informed too. Okay, they just woke up because there's money to construct the road. They did it, and this other villagers, Rocio said, it's like that. They don't understand that this thing is for their good. It's not even for us. It's not for me and Marwa. It's for the villagers. But because they don't understand, that's why they bring drama. They should accept that we are doing for them.
So the fact that we are also using space for the neighbors, we also need their agreements. Because, for example, we need to talk with this neighbor to see if they are able to allow us to expand. You know, engineer was saying.
All right.
So guys, you just watch that
kind of
video
talk
alone.
will come to place where
And that's
you're
one
already on the work,
can also
like
prove
that.
to you that he's saying that
The
no
grade is
villagers
already,
was informed. Villagers were being informed. And a typical example, we saw a whole video where villagers were being informed. Secondly, I heard JT was asking that somebody also asked him from the stream, from the live stream, guy, where are you from? JT, let me tell you the reasons why this guy was asking you where you're from. Because your level of resonance itself, it's perturbing. You know, how you reason, somebody just wanted to know which country are you from or which village are you from. The person might be a Kenyan. But because this person haven't seen somebody who's so daft and dumb, how you reason really precipitated that kind of reaction. Really prompted man to front that question, because the guy wanted to categorize you, where you are from, maybe from which country or from which county. It depends. Maybe the man sometimes must be within, but it's the first time maybe a new subscriber who have just subscribed to your channel, but the level of reasoning itself was like, it's a kind of a sarcastic kind of a question that really projects on how you reason, projects on how you carry yourself, your basic demeanor, on how you're describing just a noble project that helps the people. Therefore, JT, this guy couldn't just fathom how you reason that the project that helps the community, that you're saying this project will only help the IAM-MARWAs. How many number of people passes that road? How many? That is why you're being asked a question. If you didn't know, the level of reasoning evokes the question from that gentleman who was asking you, where are you from? So anytime you speak an issue in a meeting, then somebody just asks you, where are you from? Then there is no any other continuation statement, any kind of phrasal of verb. Get to know that there is something that is bad with what you're saying. Get to know that the person has already profiled you, because it speaks volumes. Instead, when you talk something, somebody should ask you more questions. Somebody should be so interested to ask you more questions, because he's seen you are generating new ideas. But when somebody asks you where you from, that's a veer off from the main topic. Get to know everything that you're saying was a kind of a dull. Was kind of timid. Huh? And there is no wisdom at all that you're exuding therein. Hence the question, where are you from? So if you didn't know the meaning, now I've decoded that message for you. I've decoded it for you. Guys, you've seen the lie in the video. And to tell JT that IAM-MARWA consulted the villagers, and the road itself never stopped at IAM-MARWA's gate. It all went to the Mayugno and to the other side at Mama Ann's and everywhere. Get to watch this video below, then you'll get how IAM-MARWA was interacting with the villagers going forward, asking for permission for people to secede land. And this time around, majority of the neighbors seceded the land. We know sometimes change doesn't come abruptly. It's a gradual. It is not rapid.
Trouble. Let's hear what he says. Yeah, that is the neighbor who brings trouble. You know, one day he brought a lot of trouble until the chief and police told him to sign. I think now he will not bring so much trouble because his son has a car. Let me hear what he says. Hey, Muzee, how are you? You say it's jambo. Yes. Nuninko bakori chibarabara. Hata na mahumura wa agore gai. Hata wana rai na remon. Aga soda. You want the soda? Ma, kurang tani change. No need change. Aya. Nda kurigira aga soda rero ben. Abure gase tarasi.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you watch the video alone, it tells you, because that video alone is enough evidence to depict that the road itself was done for the community, that the road itself never stopped at MR's place, because this place is far from MR's place. This place goes up to the other end at Mayugino's place past. Amarwa doesn't live there. Amarwa's place is up to Villa Medellin. This go past Mama Ann's place, the other side. The road also has got vipers along the People's Gate. You see when people came out. Now, if you see that grader, it tells you, you see the neighbors came out. Now they're very happy. Because the first project, they never saw the sense until rain came in and washed everything away. Now the second project, they saw. You see when IAM-MARWA is telling Rocio that this neighbor is the other time he brought along a lot of problem until Congress Dad decided to talk to the police, because the police also was engaged. You know, remember we have a police station within. Sometimes when they're chasing criminal with their Land Cruisers and Land Rovers, the roads are impassable. So the police also was also helping and giving the society, because they also helped to ensure that this road is built. The provincial administration, the chief and the elders also stood, that came and confronted the man that the road must be built. Now you see the man came out, not complaining. Even the son has got a vehicle. The son also came out. They're very happy. You see it. That is only one of the few examples that the project was now owned by the community. The project was involved very many community and stakeholders. It's a project that's well known, that the community also were told the sense of awareness so that the community can own this project. So they knew. It's only maybe people sometimes, the man comes and wanted something to eat, it was given some things. Some kind of a $5, there's $5. And $5 in the village, that's a very huge amount. That alone will declassify the information and a narrative that is so concocted that JNT want us to believe. We'll never believe in such kind of a narrative. People are so way above, and people are tech savvy to go and get to know what is really happening. People are so brilliant for them to be told lies in this YouTube street. We cannot be a people whereby we want to fight the government and these machinations. Therefore, you as a youth or as a millennial and a Gen Z, you are sit comfortable in front of YouTube street and channeling lies. We cannot be. At the other end, you live in a country where we fight the government so far because of the fake promises that it promises. But on the other end, you sit down lying in the name of the fellow millennials. Why can't you just be so responsible with what you put forth for consumption in this YouTube street? Why can't you? Therefore, it really points the upbringing It really points. There's some kind of there are some kinds of limitations that happen. That's why sometimes I usually tell that most of these negative guys, they have self-esteem delinquency. They're so delinquent, so that they would only get a refuge. Their ego will only be resuscitated when they take refuge into hatredness, take refuge in jealousy, take refuge in trolling other people, thinking that that one makes them important people in the society or important persons, whatever they are. Let me tell you, this negativity itself has got a rough effect on people's health. This negativity itself has got a rough effect even on your future development. This kind of reasoning, it is what now the villagers have adopted. You see, if you see a villager who wants to block development never to pass, and that's why Nyabohanse is lagging behind. I'll give you an example that I used to work in those places when I was working in Videngio. Based in Homa Bay, later based in Migori. In Migori, instead where it's called Uriri, then I used to have a Honda motorcycle that we used to move. But that one, we have two partners, a man and a female. So my partner was somebody called Susan Gatti. Susan Gatti comes from Kehancha. I used to pick her from Kehancha, move around. We sank boreholes because the problem in Nyabohanse, they have poor sanitation, which means there's lack of running water and toilet. That was the worst things. Then the lack of hospital, because there's no government hospital. The next government hospital that's so close is in Migori. Or another one, a private one called Ombo, level 4 hospital. The one that you see you're seeing in Nyabohanse Center, along that one, those are the private. They're not hospital. Those are the clinics for other medics, and those people are not just full medics. Those people are just clinicians. Others are nurses, but yet they just decide to offer, to complement the broken social services that people can decide to get. There's no biomedical social structures within Nyabohanse. That one tells you the reasons why you'll see the poor sanitations. You see the mindset as well. People have refused to change. If you see the little people who have gone to school and changed, like IAM-MARWA, the Chiefs Maticos, this Nasto, they are trying so hard to change the village. But the village mentality, the village goons around are marshalling people never to accept the change itself. Is it in Nyabohanse side of the country that you'll go? Then when you reach there, you'll see poverty in real sense. That's not to mean everybody. There are people who are making it, and that's why most of the people and the populace over there, they hate people who are doing well. That's why they hate Mayugno, they hate IAM-MARWA, they hate Nasto, because they've already have a sense that people must be poor. We must be in the same level. That's why they are anti-development. And the populace over there, they hate people who are doing well. That's why they hate Mayugno, they hate IAM-MARWA, they hate Nasto, because they've already have a sense that people must be poor. We must be in the same level. That's why they are anti-development, and they have to expose it vehemently. It's a worrisome. Therefore, the mindset, you're being controlled by people who are doing much better than you. Then you accept to destroy your village. So pathetic. So pathetic. Guys, let me know what you think at the comment section. Until next time, this is your boy Senior Zach.